Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Dugout Mug Studios. This is a Variety Sports Network production. This is the seventh inning stretch.
All right, Josh Edwards, well done with the introduction there. Tyler McGurk back with us. We're going to have Logan Stone with us in a little bit. We'll have my guy C. Wood here in a little bit. We're going to get that on as well. We'll talk Rickwood. We'll talk Birmingham baseball. We'll talk Mays. We'll get into a lot of different stuff. Diamond Notes, you know the show. We'll touch on a lot of stuff around here with it. Check out the headlines below here on Variety Sports Network. We'll have a lot going on there. I'll keep you updated on the scoreboard, quotes on the week, injuries, headlines, all that good stuff. Boys, another Thursday. Let's go to work here. Baseball season in the summer. Nothing better than it right now. How we doing there, Josh Edwards?
Fantastico. It's hot in Missouri. It's getting humid. Couldn't ask for much more.
There we go. I love it.
Baseball weather, baby.
I like it. Tyler McGurk, before we get C. Wood on, how you doing there?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm excited to talk this game that's going on. Perfect weather in California. We're about at 78. I'm excited to talk a little Willie Mays, Rickwood, and C. Wood. How you been?
Good, man. Good. How about y'all? Finally on.
I was just telling Josh, I was like, I feel like I've known this guy for a while, but I actually haven't been on the podcast game with him. I respect his work. I know he loves his Birmingham sports out there. And I was like, I got to get him on this week. I feel like, and then I found out you went to the game Tuesday. I got to get him on. I read all your articles you've done on this. So I just know you're passionate about your area too out there. Right. So I appreciate you taking some time to join us tonight on seventh inning stretch, not to talk football, not to talk basketball, but to talk some baseball tonight, man. I appreciate you taking some time.
Oh, no problem, man. I appreciate the invite.
All right, guys, let's get right into it right now. We're here right now. We got Giants, Cardinals. I'll get it up on the deck here as well as we're going with it. We got the game here live. I'll keep it up on the screen there with you. We got the Cardinals up right now 6-5 right now here as we get to the middle of the eighth. All right, as we get to that, what do you guys, as I get into it, we get to the Birmingham, we get to Rickwood Field. C. Wood, let's naturally just start with you in here as you're from that area. What does I heard about this game, a year ago, right? We hear about that. For me, I was like, okay, I always love when baseball takes their history to somewhere else. Like even when they did the Field of Dreams, they do the Little League stuff. I love all that stuff. So you from that area, when you heard it was coming there, and now you have it, that event and everything here at this time, what's your first kind of thoughts on it?
I wish I was there at the game tonight, man. Especially with my Cardinals being there. I kind of feel bad, but I was definitely glad to at least get a piece of it, man. On the other night to see the Barons play the minor league game, so it was cool. But I'm just glad that those all these guys are getting recognized. I think that's my biggest take on it, man. And it's long overdue.
No doubt about it. T.
I mean, it's great for baseball. I mean, the timing is impeccably in a terrible way because Willie Mays, who he is, and the GOAT of baseball, in my opinion, as a Giants fan, passes right before this game's about to happen. But I think it brings the most promotion it possibly could to this situation, which is good for baseball. It's good for everything that baseball has been doing lately, like introducing the Negro League stats into Major League Baseball in the last couple months. Not that, I mean, Willie Mays dying is a good thing in any way because it's not. But there is like a positive spin you can put on it where this brings the most to this certain situation.
No doubt.
That baseball needs. And I think this is exciting that it's on Fox, it's prime time, and we have Giants, Cardinals, Willie Mays being celebrated in a good way.
Yeah.
It's surreal the way his life, like Logan Stone joining us here. Like I said, we did a documentary on his movie a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of years ago with it. It's funny, like so he'll join us here as well with it. Josh Edwards, I'll throw it to you next year. Your thoughts on that game, kind of what's going on with tonight. Your Cardinals obviously in action as well. You're the other Cardinals fan on this show as well here with it. Which kind of your thoughts of us being there, just the whole night.
Well, outside of everything you guys have already touched on, because I don't want to beat the same drum, give credit to the grounds crew and the people of Birmingham who have put this field together and made it look so amazingly beautiful. The stylings of it to bring back the original traditional look is just phenomenal. The field's in great shape. It's just been awesome. And can I say this part real quick? The top of the 5th inning was awesome.
It was, man.
I mean, it was so cool. I've seen, obviously, being born in the 80s, I never had to deal with black and white TV. So it was really cool to see the production and the value that went into that for me. And even the way they put the side-by-side on, that was really cool. It's been a really awesome game, something that, I never even considered it happening or getting to view it. I'm just happy it's a nationally televised game so we can all take part of it and soak it in and enjoy it for what it means for us as a country, for our history together, and something that's brought so many Americans together for such a long time.
See, Wood, I want to. I was telling Josh right before he came on. I go I don't know if you saw Reggie Jackson's interview on Fox. Okay,
yeah.
So obviously he's going to use language on there. We're not, but you get my point. Like what I appreciated about him saying that. I don't know how you feel about it, especially from that area. Is like there was a realness to it that somebody out here in Northern California, that's just not where we grew up on. We just even hear it was different than that, and like the way that you hear some of these old players describe what it was like playing in Rickwood, I kind of actually appreciated him bringing that realness to a celebrational night. But sometimes you have to accept the past before you can move on forward. I don't know. I just kind of appreciated that part he brought. I don't know. I just enjoy that. What's your kind of thoughts on maybe that part of that stadium being recognized tonight?
I thought it was absolutely what needed to be said. I totally agree, man. Somebody, there's a guy that's a columnist here in town that said "raw, real, Reggie," and that's basically the best way you can say it. It makes you really take things into perspective, though, man. It's like to sit there and think about what those players went through back then. My dad told me all those stories. My dad was deep into the I don't know if you heard them talking about the industrial leagues that kind of fed into the Negro leagues or whatever here in Birmingham. He was a part of that, actually. And all these guys that you're hearing about today, he told me about them when I was 10 years old, and to hear him talk about those stories back then, Reggie just brought it home. That's all you can say, and I thought it needed to be said. And
I think that, and see, that's the thing is like you're from that area. Like, I guess, like, I guess I wanted to get your feel for that stadium more than like we have. Like, did you play baseball? Did you attend games there when you were a child there? Like, how, I don't know, like, does it feel different? Like, that is the oldest stadium right now we have active in Major League Baseball from the history that we have here. There is that part. I'm a huge history guy, as these guys know here, and you probably know as well. Like, that richness of that stadium, those guys being on the field that were invited from the Negro League there, that part of it for me, just kind of being there, just reading it in books was pretty special. I got to think being from that area, you had to appreciate that stuff even more.
I do. I appreciate it more than I did back when I was a kid, because the Barons obviously played their games there for a long time. But, so I think they left in the mid 80s. They left Rickwood and went somewhere else. But my dad used to take me to the games all the time out there. And so, and the stadium is crazy. But, even though, you can see that they did some things to modernize it a little bit, it's still the same. It's still the same. And being in there the other night for the game, I probably took about 200 pictures, seriously. And I've you know what I'm saying? And I've been to that stadium, I don't know how many times as a kid. So it's wild, man. And it's a lot to soak in. But I'm just glad that they're able to keep that stadium going, because there are some people around here that wanted to tear it down years ago, which is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So it's been cool, man.
Logan Stone, you're joining us here. I think you got a little static there, but I want to make sure I get you in here at least with a question. You're kind of got to see what your kind of thoughts. You were kind of looking at it from a Cardinal standpoint too. The uniforms, man. I know you love that kind of stuff. That stuff was a big part of it as well. kind of your thoughts of your Cardinals Giants matching up there in Rickwood Field today.
Hey, yeah, sorry it took me so long. Getting this stuff hooked up is like getting a colonoscopy through the shaft. So, but anyways,
Logan, don't be
yeah.
enjoying that too much.
Well, you know, whenever you go without lube, it's a hit and miss sometimes.
Always
Anyways, but as for the jerseys, yeah, it was really cool. I guess it technically wasn't St. Louis Cardinals, but I mean, it is kind of a homage to the old Cardinals, like 1920s.
Yeah.
Something like that.
The 1920s look, and so I really appreciate that. I have had my complaints about the game so far, just because I feel like it's Cardinals and Giants, and it's all been the Giants show. Like, they've had Barry Bonds plastered everywhere. They haven't had I get there are no great living Cardinals anymore, but it's still a little bit of a shame. I mean, Ozzie Smith can suck my nuts. So,
My God.
But, Logan, you always have to bring the maturity to this conversation.
Yeah, as for Willie Mays, yeah, I heard you talk about how, what was it, last year, I want to say? We watched that documentary, and I said, as an outsider, it made me appreciate him a lot more. Like, I forget that, I heard someone say that he was the 10th black person to be called up from the Negro Leagues, I guess. And so that was really interesting to me. I'm like, man, only the 10th, and then you kind of put that into perspective, and you have all the home runs. What is it, 670 or something?
660, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's pretty amazing. And then I heard Barry Bonds say in the pregame show, he said he was the original, or maybe it was John Miller. He said he was the original 5-tool player, and that kind of hit me too. I thought, you know what? He's probably right. They're the first true 5-tool player where he could hit, he could run, he could field, he could do anything, and he was just great all around. So it's weird that it happened this week, especially when everything was building up. But yeah, at least we get it's kind of weird to have a baseball memorial today.
It is a little bit well said there.
Memorial the other way, though.
What do you got, T?
I want to go back to the Reggie Jackson conversation. When he came on, he mentioned, growing up, my dad was a Giants and A's fan, and Reggie Jackson played for the A's. He went to the Yankees. He kind of disassociated himself with the Athletics when he went to the Yankees, and I was like, this is the most impressive Reggie Jackson conversation I've heard, and the way Reggie was speaking just impressed me. He actually mentioned Willie Mays being a 6-tool player because of his baseball instincts, and I was just like, oh, that's a good point he's bringing up. Willie was that guy. He was just, and I wanted to bring to you. This being in Birmingham, is there a guy who's commemorated at that stadium? Could Willie get a statue there, or is there already people being commemorated there?
No, it's not like that, because, like I said, really, to be honest, the state. I'm not going to say that they abandoned the stadium, but it definitely was not done the way it should have been. And no, there's no statues out there or anything like that. They have done a couple murals of Willie Mays around town this week, and which were cool. But yeah, I'm with you, man. He needs a statue out there in that stadium, and there is a museum inside the stadium. I don't know why they haven't done that, which is kind of crazy.
Are there other prominent players from around that area that play baseball that, obviously there are that we haven't even heard of?
Right.
Maybe they never made the Major League Baseball for the terrible reasons that were happening in those ages. But
there are plenty of them. I wish I could sit here and think of all of their names. My dad, like I said, while I was a kid, he was telling me about all of them, man. And I've heard so many of them, like Cool Papa Bell and Josh Gibson and all of those hearing about, the Negro leagues right now with the game today and everything. But of course, we had Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron grew up in Alabama. He was born in Mobile. We all know him. We all know Willie McCovey. He was born here.
Yeah.
I can't think of anyone else right now that you might know. But yeah, there were plenty of them though, for sure.
I know Bo Jackson and Frank Thomas are kind of from that area as well. They kind of grew up there too with it. It's the high school aspect. That was the part that I kind of always was funny to me, is that you guys, like when I was reading up on the field a little bit this week, I'm like, they're still hosting high school games there, Josh. They're like, that's kind of what it was there. So I kind of agree with Seawood in terms of that's kind of what's happened with there. That was, what do you kind of make of that, Josh? And we'll get I know Seawood has a little limited time here with it, but what do you kind of make with, as we kind of get to Willie Mays here with a little bit, that Rickwood part of it, your kind of thoughts of Mays kind of with the field, this whole thing kind of coming about in 1 week here?
I mean, I don't know if I can sum that up quick enough, Darren, to be honest. I'll be honest. I didn't know a lot about Rickwood Field. I mean, I knew what Rickwood Field was. I didn't know a lot of the history about it and the development of it, and I've learned a lot tonight just by watching the broadcast and in the pregame show. It was a lot to take in, and a lot to process. Not like I'm unfamiliar with what the world was like, 100 years ago, and up to 60 years ago even, but to hear Reggie Jackson talk the way he did and tell his stories, and then I instantly was relating it back to the movie 42, because I felt like that had to be a pretty good representation of the culture back then. And
did you know they filmed that movie at Rickwood Field?
See, that I heard this week when I watched 42. It was on. When I was watching it, I was reading something about 42, and I heard they shot some of the movie there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I was like, that was kind of cool that it all tied together. And I mean, dude, you're more about baseball history. I'm more about history. And for it to all tie together, that's part of why I love baseball. And this has been I was kind of ashamed we didn't wait till after the game was over, because we're missing some of it now. But I was getting a lot out of it, and trying to learn a lot.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. That's right.
Screw the pooch at the last minute, so it doesn't.
Clay Helsley looks like
there are 2 outs and it's 0-2 count. Stop.
See, Wood, before we get back to Mays here, do you think the Cardinals? Is this a bit? They got a chance this year to make the central run here. They got to make a little run. This is your team. You got the win. Tyler's starting to feel a little better about Mr. Wynn there in short.
I feel good.
Your division. You're a big Cardinals guy here. Come on, you got.
I am, man. It's the one comfort is I think it's probably the easiest division in baseball. So. So, I think anybody could probably win it, as you can see in the standings right now. But Mason Wynn, oh man, that's my boy, man. I think that's probably the biggest thing that I hate about not being there tonight. Because they had a lottery where you had to get tickets. I would have been there, but it was hard to get a ticket. But man, Mason Wynn.
For the next month, you can't just spend $900 on it.
I mean, I might want to eat next week, man. I might want to eat a little something, but it was crazy. But yeah, man. But I think he got a shot. Obviously Milwaukee looks pretty good, but I mean, do we trust the Brewers for real right now? So
hell no.
Exactly.
Hell no.
Exactly. Exactly. So I feel pretty decent. We got it to 500. Let's see if we can. The schedule is going to be good to us for a little while here. For about a month or so, I think. So maybe we can maybe we can reel this thing in. We'll see.
Get a little action with it. Back to Mays real quick. You talked about your dad. And I feel so my mom was coming on my Fat Boy Fadeaway show Sunday because she texted
Don't belittle it by saying my little
Fat Boy Fadeaway show. Okay, the best podcast of all time, Sunday morning. Check it. So she comes into it and she goes, but she texts me right after. As soon as I heard the news, I was like, I
Oh
tell
man.
my wife's not a sports person. She goes, oh, okay. She puts back a lot of order on. But then and my mom even texts me. She got
Right.
and then my
Right.
dad, and then I got my uncle that texts me. My point is, and obviously living out here in the Bay Area, my mom's been to many games at Candlestick, got to see her play a lot. I know Tyler's dad probably is the same way out there. Okay, your dad being from Alabama, saw him go to probably New York at that time, and maybe I don't know how. I don't know obviously how long your dad lived, but was he the player he mentioned the most? Because I feel like that's part of him passing away too. Is it's a lot of people like this was my dad and mom's kind of generation too. So I feel like that's part of this story as well.
Yeah, he actually he would mention more of the. I think Willie Mays actually was maybe a little bit before because actually my dad played as well. He played. Now he didn't play in the actual Negro League, but he played in that industrial league that I was talking about.
Yeah,
and and he was quite well known around town, but his player was more like the Josh Gibsons. I mean, not to say Willie Mays wasn't his, he wasn't near the top of his list, but he mentioned Josh Gibson more than anyone else, and obviously, Cool Papa Bell. That's the guy that they said, he turned the light off and he was in the bed before the before the bulb went out or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, and he mentioned guys like that. He like I said, I wish I could kind of maybe wrote some of that stuff down that he was telling me way back then. Because my dad's no longer with us, but those were the guys he talked about. He talked about a lot of these guys tonight that I don't think a lot of people ever heard of. To be honest with you, and but yeah.
She would. Do you believe that he didn't talk about Willie Mays because he made it to the big leagues and he did get his due at some point, where Cool Papa and Josh Gibson were kind of left behind, where they were great players, they deserved the shine? He kind of was like, you'll figure out Willie Mays on your own. Let me tell you about these guys.
I think that's exactly what it was. That and one other thing, my dad was a Dodgers fan. So,
She would.
Yeah, I gotta take that. You know what I'm saying? So, if Mays was a Giant, I mean, if he was a Dodger, then he probably been top of the list. But but yeah, but I think
who was his favorite Dodger player?
Oh man, back Koufax and Campanella. He mentioned them more than anybody else.
That's good, man. That's hilarious.
He tried his best to make me a Dodger fan. My uncle bought me a Dodger helmet and all that. It wasn't happening, man. I saw the bird on the bat. It was it, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think you hit it on the nose, Tyler, man. I think he wanted me to know some of those guys that were not getting the commercial airplay or whatever. He wanted to know the guys that, like you said, that did not make it, or it took them a long time to make it. So yeah, I think that's exactly what it was.
Seawood, I know I said 20 minutes. I know you gave us 25 minutes.
It's all good.
It's all right. I appreciate your time this evening, kind of giving us a chance to kind of reflect back on, kind of give it. I just felt like a personal kind of perspective on it, and kind of that area. That's something that
man.
Something I couldn't relate to, and I just know the way you talk about Birmingham, your Stallions as well, like all that good stuff you got going on there. Nick Saban retired. You have nothing going on in Alabama right now. I thought this would be I'm just joking. This would be the biggest story right now with it, but I appreciate you taking some time and just kind of give us your thoughts on kind of this big game and kind of the events that happen around it.
Oh man, no problem. Pleasure's all mine, man. Y'all have a good show.
All right.
Hey, personally, I'd like to thank you just for all the Twitter stuff we do, whether it be Alabama football, whether it be basketball, the Houston Rockets. You always have good insight, and just a great sports follow. Check out T-Wood. And thanks for always interacting, and I appreciate the interactions.
Likewise. And I'm hoping we do well with that third pick next week. You know what I'm saying? All right, man. Y'all have a good one, man.
All right, Seawood. Have a good evening. See you, man. Okay. That was Seawood with us. Appreciate him taking the time to give us a little Birmingham perspective there with it as well. Got Logan Stone, Josh Edwards, Tyler McGurk here with me. We got the Rickwood game. The Cardinals did end up winning the game 6-5. Win looked like batting practice tonight for the Giants. He was getting absolutely hit hard all evening all evening tonight. Logan, you're muted as well. Hopefully you got a view there. With it, Edwards, you're muted as well. But Tyler McGurk, we got it. Loves how the field hosts the great players there. We need more of the 17 stress. Has been great. Thanks, appreciate it. We need more of this talk. I appreciate that, Aaron. You tuned in with it. All right. I feel like we've talked about Mays. We talked about that part of it. We're half an hour in here, basically, on the show with it. Tyler, before we move on to it, what do you kind of make? You said you want to get to the Mays game there. Logan made the point that this game kind of took more on a Giants standpoint than a Cardinals standpoint overall, which I think naturally was going to happen with the death of Willie Mays. But what was your kind of thoughts of the production and kind of like just kind of overall with, like the way they kind of represented Mays? To me, it was you can't get better than that, having Bonds, Griffey, and his son coming out to kind of say something at the beginning of the game. So to put a kind of put a final bow on it before we move on, you're the Giants fan here. Your thoughts on Mays there with it?
I thought they did a good job. I mean, as expected, it's Willie Mays, probably the greatest living baseball player, was the greatest living baseball player until he passed on Monday or Tuesday night. It's what you expect. And Fox did a great job. I think ESPN leading up to this did a good job. MLB Network did a good job promoting this game. We did a good job on Variety Sports Network. He went on Thursday night on 7th inning stretch. We talked about Rickwood. We talked about whether Willie would be there. We were hoping Willie would be there.
Yeah,
and we had a feeling. And I think I mentioned, Willie, something might not be right with Willie. And here we are talking about it a week later, and we're celebrating the greatest baseball player of all time, in my opinion, top 10 in everybody's opinion. So I think people did right. Obviously, the Cardinals didn't get their due for one night, which is fair. But you get Joe Buck every World Series. You know he's going to give you a little suck off.
You know what?
I was 10 years, man.
I was thinking,
I love you guys. I was just a little shot. I love you guys.
I would be okay. But then I remembered that the Cardinals got trampled.
Don't use it. There you
in
go.
2012 and 14.
Remember, Josie's watching.
So, you know what? This is a vengeance game.
That is funny. Hey, well, I'm with a little class here with it. Airheads logo with a logo. I wish I could be with all you today. There is where I'm from. I had my first pro hit there at Rickwood as a Baron in 1948, and now this is 76 years later. It's finally got counted in the record book. Some things take time, but I always think better late than never. Time changes things. Time heals wounds, and that is a good thing. I had some of the best times of my life and Birmingham, so I want you to have this clock to remember those times with me. Remember all the other players who were lucky enough to play here at Rickwood Field in Birmingham. Remember this time. Remember, time is on your side. So that was kind of Willie Mays. He gave that to Dusty Baker there to pass on Monday. And so as we kind of wrap up this kind of game here, your Cardinals win 6-5. We'll get into them in a little bit here in a second. We'll make the transition to this. Sellers and buyers in the thing. So as we kind of get to it here with it, sellers and buyers in the MLB going forward. This is, gentlemen, where it's going to be a very interesting moving forward.
Look at Logan's face.
We're at June 20th.
He looks like a kid on Christmas morning.
He does.
This is my favorite time of year.
Is Clay Helsley always that nasty? He looked unhittable. Obviously we got two guys on base.
Ryan Hensley.
Ryan Helsley.
Ryan, not Clay. Sorry.
Clay Holmes.
Clay Helsley.
Ryan is almost always that nasty.
In June, he's only 8 appearances, and he's only thrown 10 appearances and 80 pitches or something crazy.
We're only 20 days in. He's a closer.
The problem is with Helsley is he'll be dominant for 6 weeks. Then he'll have 6 bad games in a row. like he did earlier this year. It was the end of May and the early part of June, where he had 8 appearances, allowed 8 hits, allowed 6 runs, and he blew 1 save. So he goes through little stretches here and there, but no, he should be the all-star closer for the NL this year.
He's not getting sold, so we know that he's not going to be sold with it. He's not going to be a buyer and seller. All right, so if we look at who's going to be buying and selling, I mean, I don't want to go with the Yankees. Or we know those teams are going to be buying, so they're kind of. I have them at the bottom as teams that we're going to probably buy. Obviously, I kind of want to stay with your guys' NL for just a second, like teams that might buy. Let's stay with Giants, Padres, Diamondbacks. I mean, where are those? Those to me are the most intriguing teams in this whole thing. The Padres by nature seem to buy. You would think the Giants have to buy. You would think the team in the other second. You would also think that the Diamondbacks would buy 30, but they're all under 500. It's the weirdest thing. But then you look at the wild card, and the wild card sucks in the NL. I mean, there's a good chance they're going to get under it a few games over 500.
Yeah, it's.
What do you
well,
think?
I've already complained about this, man. So
no, I know, but who's buying right now? That's where we're at. Who's buying? I mean, do you think that should the Padres, should the Giants, and should the D-backs all be buyers?
Yes.
No, the Giants aren't buying. If they're buying, they're low IQ people. So
I think they'll buy if they can find the right package. I don't think they're going to go out and overspend, Tyler. I think if somebody's out there or somebody calls them for somebody they have that they don't mind getting rid of,
yeah,
and it works out in their advantage, I don't know. I don't know if they'll be selling. They might make I don't know. I just don't think they're selling outright this year. If anything, they'll stay.
The Giants should absolutely be selling. Outside of Julio Ramos, Logan Webb, they're selling. I
don't see them selling Logan Webb. If they're going to sell Logan Webb, sell them over.
No, I'm saying don't sell Logan Webb or Julio Ramos. Those 2 guys don't sell. The rest of the roster, you got to go. We have nothing. This team sucks. There's nobody.
Again.
I'm looking.
That was what you said last week. The hitting again. That's what you said last week. You're like, they haven't hit since 2005.
They haven't hit. They have Ramos. They have Bailey. Don't keep Bailey too. Excuse me, I didn't mention him.
What do you do with D-backs, OT? They're in your division. They're the most interesting team to buy.
I agree. The Padres would buy. If I'm the Diamondbacks, you get the right deal, I'm buying. I expect Corbin Carroll to bounce back at some point. He's been absolutely pathetic. I wouldn't sell him. Like, he's obviously a wait and keep thing. I expect him to bounce back. I would, if I'm the Diamondbacks and the Padres, I buy. If I'm the Giants, there's no way you're buying. You don't have anything to buy with, and you got to build up. It makes no sense for them to buy at this point.
Aaron, you dare go against Matt Chapman? Yes, he's been against Matt Chapman.
Yeah.
Come on, Logan.
Matt Chapman could be traded before he even got signed. And
Aaron said it. Are the Mets sell? Are they buying? Are the Mets now in? Grimace, he's coming through for him. The McDonald's.
I mean, if the wild card wasn't such dog crap,
well, it is.
I mean, good Lord, there's not.
Can I say something before anyone comes?
Above 500 other than the Braves.
If
you're in the wild card, you have to have pitching. You have to have 3 great pitchers that compete in the playoffs.
Yeah, and so I mean, the Mets.
All right.
You know what? I would say I would say the Mets should go after it. I think the Padres are going to be buyer sellers, and I think the D-backs are going to be the same too. And what I mean by that is if like for the Diamondbacks, I think if Vladimir Guerrero gets on the board, they would buy him because he's got another 2 years left on his contract. And so I would trade for him and put him at third base. I think a couple weeks ago when the Blue Jays put him at third, I think that was a statement of like, hey, he can still play third. I mean, if you have a first baseman, we still have a third baseman. Giants, they're out of it. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter if they bought 3 great players. It's over. It's over. It's not happening. What is this? Loud
Marlins fan would love to talk about all the Marlins that will be sold, including release I've got your former Met, Cub, and Cardinal Alex Sanchez. Can you tell me anything about Mr. Sanchez?
Mr. Sanchez was a nobody from nowhere. That's what we can tell you.
I think the Marlins, though, if they're selling, they should be selling the farm.
Everything at this point. I mean, they're not getting their manager back. The whole coaching staff's probably been gone. Trade everything you have and stock up as much young talent as you can and rebuild this team so in 5 years you can make another run.
If I was a Marlins fan, I would not want to hear that, though. I mean, that'd still be annoying.
Why would you – like, I agree that's probably what's going to happen, Josh, and I agree with you. But that's what happens every time until you get to 3 years and your guys are starting to compete, and it's, all right, see you later. You're out of here. Now, and as far as what Logan just brought up with, like, Vladdy and like Bo Bichette, trade the farm for those mother effers. Yeah, I would trade. I'm a buyer now when you're giving me guys like that. But if it's buying for like middle relievers and a closer and like a 7-hitter, then it's sell. But so if I'm getting a legit 3-hitter, a guy who can hit in the middle of the order, I'm going to buy. Like, just because I get that guy under contract.
Signing
but here's the problem.
McDonald's is not going to save the Mets season. So I don't know. Grimace, the big purple blob that they're posting all over Instagram. Because they won
Barty, the dinosaur.
Like, shut up. It's not the Grimace, you idiots.
He is definitely the Grimace. Hey, we talked. Logan, hold on. Before we get to the Mets, Jazz. Will the Marlins unload him? It says I went to the Marlins. Like, that was one of my guys. Like, would you sell him?
Yes.
Oh, I'd sell him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's overrated.
What do you want back in return?
Like, do you want
bucket of balls?
Really? He's that bad?
Stop it, Josh.
I was high on Chisholm. Do you guys remember this before the season?
Yeah, you love.
I thought Tim Anderson. Yes, and I thought Tim Anderson could help Jazz Chisholm
for a bag of balls.
I got a bag right here.
I need the bucket to sit on while I'm catching for our pitcher. You are a bag of balls, Logan.
I didn't say it. He said it.
What I was going to get at is the Marlins, though, have had so many injury issues with their pitching staff. If they had their starting pitching, this team would not be this bad because they'd be in more games and they wouldn't be getting blown out. So if they go trade everybody this right now, they might as well start trading all their injured pitchers too and just do a complete rebuild. Because what are you going to do? You're going to trade anything away that you have that's offensive, and then next year when all these pitchers come back, you're going to be like the Cardinals, and you're going to have pitching and no offense.
Mr. Loud Marlins fan, Jazz is sellable. Yes, I agree. He is sellable, but they want to trade Luzardo and Scott. Those are two lefty pitchers.
Give me both of them.
Both those guys would easily teams would want those guys.
Hold on.
This is what I think about Jet.
Hold on. Go ahead, T.
You traded Luis Ariz for Sixto Sanchez. You traded Luis has been traded since then. Sixto still on the Minnesota. Do you regret making that trade? I can't imagine you not wishing Sixto Sanchez was still on your roster, in my opinion. Like, I just don't get what the Marlins are doing. They need a new leadership. Like, I thought the trade was terrible when it happened. I was like, you can't trade a number one pitcher potentially. Obviously, maybe he's a number two. But he's been good. Luis Ariz has been a 370 hitter, and he still hasn't made a difference.
Well,
am I wrong in thinking that, like, Luis has worked out in the best case scenario, and he still doesn't win any games?
Yeah, but the Padres just suck.
No, but this isn't a Padres. This is a Twin thing too.
No, I get it. I just mean, Luis Ariz, he's one of the
Pablo
best hitters. If you put him with the Yankees, of course he's going to do well. But if you put him with the Marlins, it doesn't matter how well he hits. It doesn't matter if he hits like 50 singles in a month. The Marlins aren't going to have any players on first or second, so he can't get any RBIs. And so
Luis Ariz hits leadoff. What do you expect him to have? Guys on base all the time?
But anyways, with Jazz,
I think he's going to be sold, but I don't think he's going to get a big return like people are going to expect. I think he's going to go to. Man,
Hot take right here. Hot take coming in. Where's he going, Logan?
I don't know if it's going to be a super team. Like, I kind of want to say Yankees, but I don't think the Yankees would go after him. I think it would be I think the Giants might go after him just to trade for him. Like, I'm talking like middle of the road team would go after him.
The Giants,
I don't think
that would be interesting.
Like the teams that you just expect to be selling, like getting a big player, like the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Brewers, or somebody like that. I don't expect them to go after Jazz. I think it's going to be a middle of the road team that maybe won't get far in the playoffs this year, but hey, they have a future. So like the Reds, maybe.
Pittsburgh.
He said I love Marlins fan. He meant more to Miami than value is for most of the league. Arias is such a good dude, and he's missing the clubhouse. But I think I'd rather have Quan there. So let's hear from a Marlins fan. The Marlins are going to be a huge part of the trade deadline there as well. They're going to be definitely sellers. They have the most pieces to maybe load off, right? T. They have the
Absolutely.
They have the most.
Could they be like the A's of the A's, and like when the A's were actually relevant, like a Sonny Alcantara, some like key pieces that could actually make a difference? Like the A's aren't there right now, but you know how they were the last 5 years.
It's too soon to diss on Darren's A's right now.
It's not too soon.
No, it's not, because there's no A's available.
There's no A's. It might be going tomorrow by
Brent Rooker.
Satchel Paige bobblehead tomorrow. So
Brent Rooker on a regular team ends up being an 8-hitter.
He's a fifth hitter.
Good on the Athletics team.
So you don't think he's actually that good?
No, I don't.
Are you crazy? What? No,
I was going to go to the NL Central, Logan.
Rooker.
You want Rooker on your Cardinals, right?
Yes.
I want Brent Rooker more than I want a hooker.
Someone buy this man a hooker immediately.
No, you cannot do that. He is a man of God now.
Sorry.
Not turning back to the evil ways.
But Brent Rooker, I love Brent Rooker. I think when he goes to a team, he's going to become like the guy that everybody will just love, and he'll get more recognition. Even if he goes to a team like the Cardinals, where they get
Aaron Rowan
whatsoever, he would blow up.
Aaron Rowan.
All right, let's keep it going to the NL Central now, though. So you talked about the Cardinals; they get Rooker maybe. Are your Cardinals buying? They've gone 28. You kind of stumbled a little bit here recently. Are you guys buyers? You got to be in the division. I have the Brewers as buyers. The Cubs are interesting for me. They're like sitting like close to last place here, with the Reds are a little bit ahead of them. Like Tyler,
there's 4 teams sitting close to last place in the NL Central, Darren.
I know, but
there's literally 2 wins separating.
Do they hold? Do these teams just hold then, or do they buy? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like the Cubs.
The Reds hold. The Cubs might buy if they find something they want or they can afford. I don't see why the Pirates wouldn't buy. If the Cardinals don't buy, John Mosaic's going to have to hire private security around his house, or it's going to get torched.
Yep.
So,
look, I've already said the Cardinals, like they said, they're going to be buyers, but that just means that they're going to get like Tyler Anderson from the Angels and then Kevin Kiermaier because, he's such a great defender. Fuck! I mean, good Lord. These guys are just idiots. And so I don't even care about the Cardinals. I want Brent Rooker. I want
you love yourself some Brent Rooker. You've been you wanted Sean Murphy too. You just like A's guys that know that will get traded.
I do. They're the Cardinals farm system, or at least they should be.
The Braves are doing a better job right now.
Yeah, right now. Not Beatty. It's what
do you think but hold on. Do you think the Reds or Pirates should buy? Do you think those teams, those are the middle road teams to be that? Like, I don't know. Like, the Reds are the interesting one to me. Where I'm like, they have their kind of guys. It's like they have a couple young good pitchers. I feel like they're gonna hold, but like I feel like they could add a little bit.
If they buy, they should buy Jazz Chisholm or Jesus Luzardo, I should say. I think he would fit perfectly for that team.
They got Montes in the deal too.
Pirates, I don't know. They're so hit and miss. Like, it seems like on paper they should be a lot closer than they are, but they're just not doing great. And then you like look on the field and you see like there's some really good pieces there. I mean,
their pitching is not some team I'd want to face in the playoffs.
No, I get that. But it's like, what is it? It's just Keller.
What if they traded for Pete Alonso? We went to what if they were the team that made a little move like that? Like, now the Mets, though, they have their grimace thing here with it, but the Mets have to realize they are not winning the World Series. No. Like, this is not happening this year. Like, I don't know. Like, if I was the Pirates, I'd be like, Pete, what do you need here for a second? What can we do to make something happen? That's what they need. They don't have any power bat in that lineup. That's where I would go. But I don't know if the Mets are sellers.
I don't respond to our fan here real quick.
Yeah.
St. Louis does need to keep on winning, but Skip needs to come home to St. Louis and be back on the bench or take Ollie Marmol's spot. The Reds shouldn't buy because they're too far away. The Pirates should buy even though they're a year off and build towards next season. The Cubs should trade for Alonso and not Josh Bell, and Scott should come to St. Louis.
Sounds like a lot of the Reds should buy. I agree. Pirates are 1 year off. Yes, maybe does feel away. Cubs need to buy a first baseman. Yes, that's one of the biggest things. They definitely be going forward. What do you guys think of the Mets, though? The Mets, they're the biggest wild card in this whole thing. I don't know. That's where I feel with it. I don't know, Tyler. Where do you feel with the Mets? It's the weirdest thing.
The Mets are definitely sellers, in my opinion. I can't think of anybody I'd want on their team, outside of Pete Alonso, who's a free agent next year. Lindor has his 6-year contract that is overpriced at this point from what he's performed. I don't believe in the Mets. I would love for Pete Alonso to go to a team that does matter, like Pittsburgh or like Cincinnati. But no, I don't believe in the Mets. If I'm the Mets, I'm selling. I don't you did the whole Verlander Scherzer thing. Didn't work. You might as well make up, get your farm system back intact with the guys you have now. Marte he was good the 1 year you needed him, but after that, you kind of knew he'd fall off. It's time to rebuild this thing.
They need to just clean the slate. So, if they were buyers at the deadline, they're fired because they not moving. I'm sorry, I know, but it's so stupid. They have no real team. They keep buying the 6th best player at their position. They paid Brandon Nimmo $250 million to stay, and he's not even a top 15 center fielder. And so they just need to get rid of they can't be buyers. They really shouldn't. Otherwise, they're going to be spending $1 billion on a minor league team.
That's the thing. I feel like. Go ahead, Josh.
I was going to say that's what big cities do with big budgets. They just go throw money away they can grow on trees.
I feel like Alonso, they're in a tough spot with him. He continues to be in a tough spot. I mean, do they sign? I mean, to me, he's the most. I don't know. This is an intriguing one for them. Do they want to go $200 million with somebody like Alonso? I don't know. To me, it's the most interesting move here coming up.
I think they should trade him. I think they should get rid of as much as they can. Go after a legit superstar, go after Soto. I think Soto's a superstar that they should go after. I don't think going after this guy and just random people. I think they need to take a deep breath and forget the checkbook for just a minute. I'm not saying don't spend money, but they gotta figure out what they're doing, what their game plan is, instead of just buying these mediocre players. I think Alonso to the Cubs is the perfect choice.
Who are the Cubs trading though? That was one of the questions.
Patrick Wisdom and Morel.
No.
They'd have to get Alonso.
No, the Mets aren't going to want MLB players. They're going to want prospects. I don't know.
Morel's 25 years old, bro.
Who?
Christopher Morel.
He's pretty good, yeah.
He's young as all get out.
I mean,
can I just say Brandon Nimmo is the next Brent Rooker if you're looking for a outfielder.
don't do that.
Harrison Bader, all that good stuff. We get, the Cardinals get Harrison Bader back. What a move for Logan. He loves it. They get him back in there. All right, let's go to the AL a little bit with this. Keep it moving. All right, so I think we know the Braves are going to be buyers. We know that the Phillies are going to be. The Nationals will sell. The Nationals have been, when I get to my duo list next week, there'll be a little bit there. All right, AL West. Rangers.
AL. I thought we were going to the NL.
I thought we already did NL.
We just did the NL.
We just did NL.
I thought we were going to the Braves. Can the Braves make a stupid trade for Jorge Soler, who helped them win a World Series, and give us a decent prospect? Please. That's all I ask for.
You're being selfish.
You're going to be asking for something you're never going to get.
Yeah.
Prospects you've gotten have
you helped them win a World Series, goddammit.
You have learned their lesson after David Wright. Corner players do not age well.
The Mets are retarded. They've never learned their lesson. Let's be real.
The Mets do not make solid.
They have low IQ.
That is not part of their franchise history. All right, AL now, Tyler. Let's get to it. Mariners should be buying. Now the rest of the division, I'm like, to me, I wrote down Astros should be buyers. And if I'm the Rangers, I'm not selling. I just won the championship. I'm buying again. I mean, I know they're in a tough spot. They got DeGrom coming back. If you're the A's and Angels, of course, you're selling it away. If you're the A's, you're not selling Miller, though, yet. You're not giving up Miller yet.
I agree.
Do not trade him yet. If I'm the Mariners in this out of these three teams, I'm saying, you know what? The Astros look dead in a way. The Rangers are vulnerable. They got a lot of pitching issues. This is your time to go get a hitter and take your team to the next level.
If the Mariners don't go get a hitter, the front office should be fired. Like, if they don't have a hitter on their roster by the end of the trade deadline, the owner should come out and fire everybody in the front office.
How many teams do we have Jazz Chisholm on by this point? No, I'm just kidding. No, go ahead. Just kidding. No, I agree with you, though, Josh. Like, to me, they're the biggest. Out of all the teams we'll get into, that's the team where I'm like, this is your chance to buy. This division is as winnable as possible. I mean, you'll have your AL East teams you're going to have to get through, but this is.
But they have better pitching. If they went and got a hitter or two, they could upset the entire AL this postseason. I firmly believe that.
Do they need what do they need? They don't need a catcher. They don't need a first baseman. I mean, do they need a DH, I guess? I mean,
they need everything. What do you mean?
No, I mean, if I was them, honestly, I might take a chance. Like, let's say Tampa Bay says, "Okay, hey, we're gonna unload like
a Rosarena."
Yeah, like that would be somebody. I'd be like, I know he's having a bad start, but like maybe picks up a little momentum with Julio Rodriguez. You probably could get him a little bit more on the cheap, just based on how much he's struggling. I know that's not the star name, but that's
I like
one that jumps out.
Rosarena is a pretty big name.
Yeah, I know. We're going to get into your Astros in just a second, Susie. You turned in perfectly at the right time. We're talking about the Mariners. Should they buy? I think they should go get our guy out there, Rosarena in Tampa Bay. Go ahead, Logan.
I'm thinking DH right now for them because I can't think of who their DH would be. But, I mean, like, I think Josh Bell would be a good one. Who else would be a good? Not Pete Alonso.
Bell would be great. Bell would be a good one.
See, Josh, I think Pete Alonso would be a great addition. With him and Julio Rodriguez, you have Ty France DHing or playing first, whoever you want to DH. I think that'd be a great deal. You just need someone who can hit. Who's hitting the ball out of the park?
They need bombs.
You have a great starting staff.
Go out and they're not going to get like the big guy. They're not going to go out and make a blockbuster deal.
JD Martinez, if the Mets unload.
Who?
They should enjoy the wild card, and we can call them done if they're not doing it.
JD would be good. Even though, I mean, he's not
Tyler
good, but
Haniger.
He's their DH. The Mariners.
Seattle should just say we accept the wild card. We're going to end our season there. If they don't want to go do something big, they should go get somebody. Go get the guy. They have the talent at the pitching. They have the starting
guys. They have 5 legit.
They have the Giants starting pitching in 2010.
They do
go make it happen.
Go get Cody Ross.
Players. Go get position players who can hit a home run. You have 5 guys who can get to the 6th inning.
But they're not.
And then get some late.
They should get Rooker then. A Rooker would be a good fit along with a couple other. Not your main guy, but you add him up. You get like 3 guys that can.
A guy who can hit lefty.
Established. He's going to the Cardinals. Oh gosh.
I forgot Cody was.
But don't you agree Seattle is in the best position to do something big here?
Yes. They have to.
So they have go do it.
The Astros are so down right now.
This is the time to sit back and be like, we're going to just sit here and add Mitch Haniger guy. Go get.
Did their GM say something stupid at the beginning of the year though? Wasn't it like?
No, that was 2 years ago. I think. Okay. But you're right. He did say a stupid comment about we're not going to bring a guy up for. He
was complaining about having to pay Kikuchi.
Yeah, pay guys an extra year,
$50,000 or something.
Yeah, I remember that was when Logan was heading the ship.
Yeah,
he was Captain Ahab.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had a brain fart, and I was in his ear, and I was talking to him. I was like, "Wait a second, don't say that." Anyways, but yeah,
they want to win 54% of the time. That's well said there. We're gonna have Susie on next Thursday. I feel like
Susie, don't forget.
I feel like Susie will send you the reminder every day, Joshua. But my point, we'll get into more of this, but I feel like I still feel like Tyler. I don't know how you guys feel. I still feel like the Astros are there. I don't know. It's hard for me to just eliminate them right now. I don't. Blanco's still on the. It's hard for me to say for them just to sell. Are they trading Verlander as the rumors are coming up right now? I don't know. I'm having a weird time with this one.
I think they trade Verlander and Hader.
Well, Hader's trash.
Hader?
Trash. I talked about this before the year started, but we can carry all that on.
But I don't know. I wouldn't say they're necessarily. You know what? Bregman might be a tradable piece too. They would
that's no guy
for a trade, but I think they would be listening really hard. Even if the Yankees came to them and said, "Hey, we want Alex Bregman and you Jason Dominguez for it." Maybe not.
I don't think the Yankees would do that.
But I just mean a big prospect for the Yankees. Obviously, they wouldn't get it because Bregman's got 6 months left on his contract. So,
dude, Tatis Jr. is having a hell of a night. He's 3 for 3 with a home run. Chado's 2 for 3.
Tatis Jr. is the greatest. He's good.
The steroid thing kind of put a little damper on it, but I hear you on it. I feel like he's
for who though? It really doesn't.
It doesn't for me, but I feel like it has for I get you. I don't want to. That's not a big deal. But okay. So Mariners, Astros. We both believe they should. What do you guys think of Texas? Are they buying?
I don't know.
It's not an even year for both. It's not a. They got to win every other year for Bochy. Is that how it works? All right, we'll wait this year. We'll go next year. And I don't know. They get DeGrom back. He's supposed to be back in about a month and a half. Scherzer's there.
I mean, yeah, because they have Scherzer who's coming out. Eovaldi should be. I mean, they had 10 guys on the IL, so it's not like it's a talent problem. It's just because everyone keeps getting injured. So I mean, I don't know who you really. I mean, I don't know who you would trade. I mean, I guess if Kumar Rocker or some of their big guys,
that'd be interesting if they did that.
Jake Leiter, if they wanted to trade them away and just say, "Hey, we'll get a big bat. We'll trade Adolis Garcia to the
They're not trading. Adolis is a World Series hero.
They can't. I don't think the Rangers can sell. I think they have to only buy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say they're necessarily buyers or anything. So I would.
So
I stand pat.
I just holding it at that point. What do you guys think as we kind of move on to the Central? You have the Twins, the Royals. Tigers should be selling. What do you guys think of the Guardians? Like, a lot of people say the Guardians should hold. I'm like,
no, the Guardians should add a bat.
They should add a bat. I feel like them and the Mariners are in a position to, like, what do we say, steal a World Series spot? Like, I feel like they're in that spot.
They have the pitching. Go get a bat. Go get somebody who can put a couple runs on the board, like, for a game. Maybe they go 0 for 4, like 3 out of the 4 games, but you can win a game single-handedly. I'd go add that guy. If I'm the Guardians or Rangers.
The Royals need to buy a pitcher.
The problem is that these teams, they should be buying. Like the Royals would be, if they bought.
Who's selling is the question.
If the Guardians would buy, that would be awesome. If the Twins would buy, that would be awesome. But they're not going to buy.
The Twins, I could see being more of a buyer than any of those teams in that division.
I mean,
really?
I think they got Lewis back. I like Royce Lewis. I feel like they got him back. Pablo's been underperforming. He could probably if I was the Twins, I'm not in a position to sell. That's not my mindset. If I'm the Twins, I'm going for it. I'm not holding back.
See, my thing would be the Royals. I would think that the Royals would go if there was a team in that division and you pointed a gun at my head and said had to be one team, I would think it would be the Royals. But I cannot sit here and think, oh, they would go after Pete Alonso, they would go after Jazz Chisholm, they would go after Jesus Luzardo, they would go after Vlad Jr. I mean, none of these teams would, I don't think. And so I think they would go after middle of the guys, like middle of the order guys, and I don't think that would get them far in the playoffs.
I think Susie does bring up a good point about their depth. They do have McKenzie, and they have was it Beebe that's been good. He had 12 Ks this week as well. But their depth is a little, maybe that's again where these Luzardo's guys fit into a trade like that with them. I hear you on that. Royals need some bullpen, a big bat as well. White Sox should trade Luis Roberts. That would be he's a very interesting name. Like if we go to the AL Central, right? Like he's one of the more interesting ones. That's a giant where you're like, please.
Ding. You bring up. Shut up, Logan.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You bring up Luis Roberts. You bring up Vlad Jr. Those are giants. Those are the guys. Like they're not. Let's be real. They're not gonna. They're gonna be on another team. Like they're not gonna play on the White Sox or the Blue Jays their whole career. The Giants should be targeting those type of guys. The Luis Roberts Jr.'s. Give up a couple prospects. Give up Marco Luciano. Give up like Kyle Harrison, who has been decent at times this year. He's had a couple struggles. But those are the guys. If the Giants, I'm obviously a Giants fan. I don't mean to bring it back to the Giants all the time. Go get Vlad or Luis Roberts Jr. Those, like you brought up Luis Roberts to the Guardians. Who the Guardians giving up for those guys? Or for that guy?
That's the problem.
They do have a good like farm.
They always have a Giants. They always do. I think. I don't know. It's to me.
Do you think the White Sox want to trade in division though? Probably not.
I don't think they're going to trade the lefty, the guy that's getting all the Ks. Everybody says
Harrison.
Yeah, I feel like he's Garrett. He's getting
Crochet.
Yeah, Crochet. He's getting way too
much.
No,
they're not trading Crochet. That's a dumb idea.
I think the trade.
Jack Flaherty.
Josh, where does Crochet go? I'd love for him to come to.
Oh, he's not getting traded.
I think he goes to the NL. I don't think they trade him inside the AL. I think he goes to the NL too.
That's a steal.
He can go anywhere. He can go to the Cardinals, the Cubs, the Pirates. He could end up in San Francisco. He could end up in Arizona. I think is a good shot. Texas the Rangers could even take a shot at him in the AL. I think he go to a lot of different places. Maybe the Red Sox even.
He hasn't been good for more than a year. Why would the White Sox trade him?
No,
I think
cash in while they can.
Is not going to get you the trade package that
who Logan, what did you say?
The White Sox, the trade package they want. So that's my thing. I think he's too injury prone.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. I think that's probably
Luis Roberts.
Yeah. Oh, Luis Roberts is going to get him tough. Jack Flaherty is the biggest one to me in that division. He's off to a great start.
Please go get Luis Roberts.
It'll be interesting where he goes in that division as well as the pitcher. Flaherty. We'll see what the Tigers do. All right, let's get to the big division before we move on to the East.
Flaherty.
You have the East, the Rays, and the Jays. Those are the teams in this division that make that whole. They make maybe they might change this deadline more than anybody else, right? So, like, I feel like I cannot see the Blue Jays trading Bichette. I cannot see them trading Guerrero. I can see the Rays unloading Lowe and those guys and Diaz and who's struggling a little bit. Rosarena we talked about. And I can see those guys getting dealt. I hesitate on the Blue Jays. Like, you can't trade Bichette and Guerrero, can you? I mean,
if you're trading those two, you got to trade everything else you have. And I mean, everything else you have.
So
they've been
Barrios must go.
so long, and then they were supposed to be so good this year, and they're in last place.
I don't know. That's the toughest one for me because the pitching. You have Gosman. You might as well trade those guys too then.
Yep. I mean, none of y'all saw Boston being in third place 5 games over 500.
Nope.
Nobody up here called that. And I didn't even say they were going to be that good. I just said they were going to cause disruption. I didn't think they were going to be this good. I mean, they're not. I mean, they're in the running for a wild card, for God's sakes.
The Red Sox.
We thought that's where Toronto was and Tampa Bay were going to be fighting.
Yeah.
To get in. I mean, the Rays should just sell out and restart again like they do every 4 or 5 years. But the Blue Jays, I got to give that team. If I'm the Blue Jays ownership, I'm saying I got to give this team one more year. I'm going out and buying. I'm buying for next year. I'm not buying for this year. I'm buying to set up for next year.
For who?
The Rays or the Jays, the Blue Jays.
Yeah. What are we doing? What are we doing with the Red Sox and Rafael Devers? You think he'll be back? He's going to demand a $250 to $300 million contract next year.
He's already got an extension.
He just got paid.
Yeah, he got paid.
No, I thought he was.
No, he got paid this last season, so he's good.
He did.
I thought he was the one that got paid there at the Devers. The Rays, though, are interesting with the time up. I feel like they're. I remember I said at the beginning of the year, I was like, I think I said that first week. I said, I don't know if I trust the Rays this year in this division.
You did.
So I feel like that's maybe could be one of my rare things I got right. That might be one of them that comes true with that. So I don't know. There was a lot of the Red Sox are going to be interesting too with that because that's the thing when you're the third team of 2 teams in the great division, it really makes it tricky. Now the 6 teams changes some of that. You get into the playoffs. I don't know. The Red Sox will be an interesting one there. So that was kind of fun with buyers and sellers along. Any last points, Logan Stone? Any last ones, Tyler McGurk, on buyers and sellers that you want to make here, Logan Stone? You got any?
I mean, I think the Jays would be stupid to be buyers at the deadline. What future? I mean, you had a solid team for 5 years in a row, and nothing's working out for you. I mean, you have Kevin Gosman, who's great. You have
Barrios is good.
Who?
Barrios.
Oh yeah. And Vladdy Jr. I mean, even if he was playing, because I don't think he's as good this year as he has been. But I mean, just name recognition gets him a lot.
Yep, no doubt.
I mean, I would trade and it just doesn't. It's not working out for them. Just trade their big guys, and I mean, I think that's all I can really say on that is the Jays. And for the Red Sox, I mean, I don't know. Maybe getting a guy would help, but I'm not sure.
Marlins guy adds in here the last Nationals. I feel like they're a half game out of wild card, but I don't know. I feel like they should still sell at the end of the day, or just hold probably. I don't even know if I would sell if I were them. I would just kind of maybe let it ride out and just see if
Thomas
sneak in. Yeah,
I don't know. Would be good.
Yeah, he'd be interesting if we get there with it. So those are our buy and sell. It'll be interesting as we kind of move forward. We're about a month away from it, but I thought it was a good time to kind of get into where we were at with buyers and sellers this week around Major League Baseball. Appreciate our Susie tuning in from Bourbon and Baseball. Loud Marlins fan. Appreciate you guys coming in with the comments there. Appreciate that there with it. All right, as we get to Diamond Notes, as we kind of move through there, get to the 7th day with it. All right, Snoop Dogg did some good announcing there at the Reds and Brewers. I found that a rocket in his pocket. That was a good little there with De La Cruz. You got some of that fun with it. I kind of wanted to bring this to stage just a little bit. It kind of came up this week on the Talking for Baseball. little softball little idea they had regarding it. Well, let's get your thoughts on it, guys, here in just a second. Here, let me get it up on the stage here.
Rizzo got hurt. Another collision at first base got him hurt.
Was a tough baseball collision. First base leads to the ugliest collisions in baseball.
Yeah, just double the bag up and quit being like toxic masculinity. Just because softball did it first and you're scared of copying what a girls' league
Dumb,
did.
there's not a double first base.
It's so dumb because, what are we, little girls? No, just be safe. Just because they acted on safety first doesn't mean that you can't.
And take cups out of baseball.
A lot of guys do already.
Yeah,
People
that's
don't
true.
care about their jump at all.
I didn't play with one. Took away from my speed.
Rizzo.
So those guys don't even have any junk to worry about, which is why they didn't wear cups.
I was definitely not worried about speed. I definitely wasn't worried about that being an injury. It made me uncomfortable at times, though. Do you think they should have it, Logan? Should we add a little softball base to the side here?
I think first baseman should learn how to play first base and not
There you
hog the whole bag. So, I mean, yeah, quit being a bunch of pansies and just learn how to play it right. You put I knew that you put your foot at the corner of the bag, and so you leave time for the runner. I mean, leave room for the runner. I mean, it hasn't been a problem for years. And women do it because they're,
Be gentle here. Be gentle here. We gotta be respectful here with this. We got Susie coming on next week. They'll be killing us over there. What do you make of it, T?
We're playing baseball. We're not playing softball. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, we
To
don't
me, it was
need
a
two
crazy
bags.
change.
We
Crazy
don't need
change.
2 bags. You want to be a little. I'm gonna watch my tongue. We don't need 2 bags. We got one. One's enough. It's worked for 100 years. I think we're good.
I kind of agree the same way with it. Josh, any final thoughts?
Dude, when I saw this, I told you we had to talk about this. I want these guys to come on and I want to have this debate with them. The game has been played like this for 150 years. It's never been an issue. It's guys not playing the bag correctly, and it's runners not paying attention to where they're going. This is not an issue of we should have a double bag and we should play safe, and it's toxic masculinity if you don't agree with me. You're out of your freaking mind. Stop changing the game. The MLB's done enough damage to the game in the last 2 years, changing all the rules. We don't need to change everything. Sports are inherently dangerous. That's why men like to play them. There is inherent danger in playing sports. That's why we love football. That's why we like rugby. That's why we love hockey. That's why I make fun of basketball and soccer. There is some inherent danger in playing sports. It's the closest thing we get as normal human beings to battle. Like, get over yourselves. Like, those guys are absolute jack-offs. That's all I'm going to say about that. If they want to have a double bag, go create a new baseball league with your double bag on first. I agree it's a great safety method for children. I don't even think they should have the double bag in softball personally, but they do, and that's fine. That's their sport. I'm not going to critique it.
For a beer league, I totally understand it. For a beer league,
First of all, without those jagoffs, you wouldn't have a show to begin with, because a lot of this show is based on talking baseball.
No. When you were here full time, the show was based off talking baseball. We do our own thing now.
Now we do it on Gary Radnich. Do you know who that is?
Gary.
Logan has no idea what I'm talking about.
Those guys are weak-minded fools. They don't like competition. They want everything to be safe.
He has no. Hey, my last diamond note. I want to get it on the stage here. This is my favorite play of the whole week, so I got to get it up here.
On the backstop, it had a perfect
bounce
off the brick.
Oh, come on. Don't die on me.
Unreal. I think so. Mullins is called out. The Orioles will immediately challenge.
I think he got his left hand in there. So take a look right here.
Oh, he's safe.
He's safe.
As good as it gets.
No kidding. Yes.
No kidding.
Gotta give the catcher credit there for hustling back to the home plate.
No, fuck the catcher. He was too late.
He was hustling, though. He made an effort.
No. You try your best. You weren't good enough.
That slide, that game. I don't know. You guys probably. I was able to watch most of that game live. Best game of the week. That Friday Phillies Cardinals game right after we got off the air. That next day. That was the best game I maybe have seen this whole season. That game was electric between the Phillies and Orioles that Friday night. Phillies ended up winning that Friday night. The Orioles on the next two, but that whole extra inning, that slide by, that I was listening to the radio version of it with Xavier. Actually, we talked about before. I was like, hey, it's bottom of the ninth. They got it on right now because they didn't buy me the package at that point yet. So we're listening to it. Like that was just so great. Like he slides, he's out, and then like no. So it was kind of a cool moment for my between me and my son as well at that point with it. So to me, those plays at the plate, there is nothing better than those. Those are deep down my favorite plays in baseball. Those plays at the plate. So that's what I got with it. Tyler, my last little note here in Diamond Notes. Do you agree? We kind of talked about it. Are the Guardians the third best team in the American League? Are you going to go there with me on that before I get to MLB trivia?
I think they are. I think with the bullpen they have,
You guys are high.
Maybe
The third best team in the AL.
Josh, put me under.
Third best. No, you're right. Third best. I think they're the fourth best. I think the Red Sox you can put above them, which is the argument in I think most of our opinions. Where you could fight with me. You want to go 50-50, I'll put them fourth best. I think with their seventh, eighth, ninth bullpen, it puts them in that like territory where it makes them easy to manage. It changes things for the manager. It changes things for all of baseball. You have Clase at the ninth inning where you only have to go 8 innings. I know, don't shake your head like, oh, the closer. You've seen Helsley go shitty for 2 weeks. We haven't seen that from Clase in 2 years. I do. I really think with Jose Ramirez as the best hitter or the top 3 hitter in the AL, you have Clase at the end of the game. I'm gonna put it, and I'm gonna put the Indians with all their pieces as the fourth best team in the AL.
I would say Phillies, Orioles.
The Phillies are in the NL.
Yeah, wrong league there, buddy.
Oh, are you saying? Oh, okay, you're saying in the AL. Okay, never mind. I'm sorry. I thought you guys were talking about in all of baseball. I was like, are you crazier than? I mean, anyways.
No, just the AL.
No, the Mariners aren't better than the Guardians.
I don't know.
I bet you in a 3-game series the Mariners win, and I guarantee you in a 5 and a 7 they win.
No
the
way.
Guardians are an interesting one for me.
Who's
like,
a better hitter than Jose Ramirez on the Guardians? It's not even close.
The Mariners.
You want Steven Kwan? You want Andres Jimenez? I'll take
what wins championships in baseball?
Oh no! Don't do this! Don't do this to me, Josh.
Pitching and clutch hitting.
They still got 2 guys that are up there in the top.
Oh, you said pitching. Okay, good boy. He's scared for a minute, Josh.
But clutch hitting matters too. Like
it does.
Yeah, but if the other guys can't hit because your pitching's that good.
I mean, good Lord, that rotation.
I've been Guardians fourth.
That's
fine. This is why I love baseball. This is why we do. Like I don't know. This is why I love it. This is why it's a long season. That's why I love this game. I enjoy the banner we can have with it. I love it, Logan. This is what it's about here. The Guardians, you're not going to buy them, Logan? Come on, Stephen Vogt. I believe in Stephen Vogt. Come on, let's go. You take the third best team.
I mean, I love Jose Ramirez and Josh Naylor. Josh Naylor has been sneakily the best first baseman in baseball. Who sucks?
I love hitting first base stats. I love it. My favorite part about Susie on X, Susie, when you send the pictures of the strike zone, because I watch the same way on my on the game day, and she's like, "What kind of freaking call is this, umpire?" That's why I love her. That's exactly how I look at it. I'm like, that's exactly how I watch the game the same way. So I appreciate it.
Susie, why are you using batting average?
Because she's a traditional baseball person.
No, it's not.
Who wants the animated balls and strikes.
I fell in love with her in Bourbon and baseball.
The animated balls.
They used actual analytics. They were smart people, and they weren't afraid to use the advanced stuff. So, Susie,
hold on, time out. Logan, are you still at the point? Where'd he go?
Tyler. My guess is the wife got involved.
I'm the captain.
Oh, sorry, Tyler. Logan, are you as of right now looking at the entire MLB? Are you really going to tell me that? There he comes. He's coming back. Are you really going to tell me that batting average isn't important? Because if you look at how mediocre baseball is right now and how far down offense is from normal, look at all the teams' batting averages. Batting average does matter.
Bad.
It does tell the story.
Pretty bad.
So don't tell me batting average doesn't matter and we shouldn't pay attention to it, because since we've stopped paying attention to it, offense has decreased significantly and it's been horrible.
On base percentage is so much better. And listen,
Billy Bean loves Logan. Billy Bean loves Mr.
I love Billy Bean.
He loves Moneyball you to death. Moneyball you to death.
Because
Billy Bean has 0 championships as a GM, but
why are we holding on? Oh my effing!
Susie, I can't wait to have you on next week to be able to get into this a little bit more.
Advanced analytics are a fantastic tool, Logan, but traditional analytics got the game done for 150 years.
Yeah. But
all right, guys, great. I want to keep it moving here. We're at the 8th inning here. MLB Trivia. Josh, your favorite part of the show.
Shoot.
Your favorite part of the show.
I've been waiting.
Wait, MLB Trivia. We got to it. We're here with it. We got can't drive and run from second while. Yes, it's true. It's not everything. There, see, Logan. It's not everything. We'll get into that. We'll keep it moving, Logan. While you're
saying it's better than
Hey, can I get a quick poll from the three of you? Who's the greatest living baseball player of all time? Now that Willie Mays
living,
Sandy Koufax.
Sandy Koufax is dead.
I was thinking Sandy Koufax.
Yes, he is.
Hold on.
I looked it up yesterday. He was 88. That's all.
No, Sandy Koufax is dead.
No, he's not. He's not dead.
Sandy Koufax is still alive.
Did he die on me? I didn't know he died on me.
Well, he's not the greatest, but he played 8 years. So
he's 88.
I think it's him. Oddly enough,
10 years is not the greatest living baseball player of all time.
I think those are the three.
Pete Rose.
What's up, Jim?
I mean, yeah.
Mark Grace. Mark Grace.
Yeah, I love Jim.
Ryan Sandberg.
Ryan Sandberg is not.
No.
Barry Bonds is up there. Ken Griffey Jr. is up there.
Then you got to put Albert Pujols in the conversation.
Those are your guys up there as you get in there. All right. Hey, as we get to the 8th inning with it, MLB Trivia here with it. I played 9 seasons of MLB, playing 4 different teams as a starting pitcher from 1998 to 2007. I finished 4th in Rookie of the Year voting and went 90-65 with a total 1,086 strikeouts. Is that enough to get a hit number 1 from anybody here?
Not Mussina, is it?
Not Mussina, not Big Mike.
Okay.
Mike had way more than 90 wins. I did that.
I was going to say, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought.
All right, hit number 2. I get to it here. I won an ALCS MVP and have a postseason ERA of 2.55 and a record of 9-3. Again, pitched from 90s. Again from 1997 to 1990. Yep, in the AL. Played for a couple NLTs, but more known in the AL.
It's not Andy Pettit.
He is not an Andy Pettit. Good guess along the way here. Not Roy Oswalt.
No,
I had a guess early.
2013.
More American League.
Was he a Yankee? You can't tell me that. I know.
We'll get to the next clue here. I feel like this will help you out with it. Hit number 3. I won 4 World Series. My last one coming with
gosh!
White Sox in 2005. Do you have it, Logan?
The unique windup, the freaking oh my God!
I'll let them guess. I know who it is.
Hernandez or what? No, it's not Hernandez. I'm sorry, Orlando.
You're right on it. Yes, you are.
Oh my gosh!
Duque.
El Duque Hernandez is the answer. Tyler, what hint gave it away for you?
The third one.
The third one, yeah. A lot of people forget about he won the World Series with the White Sox. That was he was the ALCM.
No, that was White Sox starting rotation was unbelievable. That World Series.
Contreras.
It's funny. I only think
Contreras, Burley, him. I think they all went 7+.
I only think of him as a White Sox and a Marlin. So That's what
Marlin. That's his brother.
What?
Levon Hernandez is
Levon.
Levon is on the Marlins. El Duque was known
That strike zone, the worst strike zone in MLB history.
for the Yankees. We had him on. Levon was on the show, I believe, not that long ago. We always get it up on the stage. This is one of my favorite. El Duque, here we go.
I love
Ray Ordonez.
Sidearm delivery and
he
a
can't
comeback.
hit.
There's the good athleticism.
Well, let's see how he gets
Throws
it.
the glove to first. For the out. The ball
This was
was
on
stuck
TV
in his
the other day.
glove, and so he threw
Tino.
the entire thing over to get out number 2.
He didn't do jack for the Cardinals.
What an intelligent play by El Duque.
Tino.
I gotta see. 1999, he was the ALCS MVP, by the way. He was the MVP there. He was coming defected from Cuba. His brother Levon was a big deal. This play, though.
I mean, that's just smart baseball.
How did it stay in the glove? Like the face there. You know Jesus is alive.
I just love how Tino Martinez. I just love how he catches the ball and then like runs into the offense like the normal, like you know what I mean. Like we gotta run in. Like what's he gonna do? Throw the glove at the catcher? I just thought it was kind of funny how he.
No, but there's a guy on third. He has to protect that.
No, but I mean it was kind of funny that the runner could have ran to third, like throw the glove at home. Like I don't know, it would have been kind of funny how he would have took it to the next level. Any thoughts there on El Duque, gentlemen?
You got me again, man.
Nope,
I've got twice this whole year.
I love the pitching mechanics. I idolized it. That was a good choice.
Did you think Orlando Hernandez because of the Luke Combs interview?
I did not. I've had that one up on the docket for a while. I've had that one on there for a long. Most of these I have up for years. I just bookmark it for a while, and I occasionally go with it. El Duque, that one I was thought about bringing to the table last week. Decided to wait one more week with it, but yeah, that was the reason I got it up on the screen. All right, should we get to our MLB flashback video of the week here?
Yes.
Let's get to it. We talked about him in the pregame a little bit here. We talked about him on the pregame. Here's Reggie Jackson hitting a home run back in the day here. Let's see what happens after it.
Mr. October.
Deep right center. And that one
Where's Pablo? What do you want, Pablo?
70.
Oh, well, they had a camera on Jackson. He starts running now, but he just stood there and looked at it.
Wait. Here we go.
He's going after it again.
Yeah.
This time. Here, and there they go.
I took you deep, and now I'm going to kick your rear end.
Yeah, that's basically fun. What happened?
And Oscar Gamble carry
pulled away like a
triumphant gladiator off the field.
The gladiator. I love how the announcer at the end was like, "We take the gladiator off the field," like just like the whole way it was. He basically hits a home run off the guy that says, "Let's kick your ass." Like that's kind of like was the mentality of that's our flashback video of the week, or MLB version of it.
I'm gonna beat you on the scoreboard, and I'm gonna beat your face in. Nah,
face it with it as well. That was great with it. Tyler, I know we went a little long with it. Josh, we went a little longer than we usually do, but it was kind of fun. We had Seawood on for about a half an hour to be able to reflect on kind of that game. Rickwood with it. Logan Stone got you on. A rare appearance here as well. Tyler McGurk's been joining us recently. Tyler, it's been great having you on along the way. Logan, appreciate you taking a little time, my man, to join us tonight. It's been fun having you on.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to have to come back next week in order to see Susie because I won't get an invitation to her show anytime soon. So
I thought you were going to be otherwise indisposed next week.
No, I actually get back on Thursday. I thought I got back on Saturday. So
nice.
Hey, if Susie's on, Logan will find a way.
Logan will find. There's a will. There's a way. McGurk, appreciate you jumping on again, man. I always love talking baseball with you. I know you like it too, so it's good.
I love talking baseball with anybody who will listen. Darren, I know you always listen. Josh, I appreciate you having me on every week that I'm available.
Yes,
Logan, it is what it is. Thank you. 7-inning stretch. I'll be on whatever you guys want me to be on.
That was good. That was good. Edwards, I don't think we can end it better than that. That might be one of the best ones. I know I definitely don't want Logan on. Susie does not want he's already got him. Susie, we'll try to help you with that one. With it. So, yeah.
Man.
Edwards,
Can I say something real quick? I
you.
love our little
I
baseball
love you,
community.
Logan. I love you.
This I gotta tell. I was telling. This is one of my favorite shows that we do throughout my whole time podcasting. Fat Boy Fadeaway. I know I love that one. That's my family one. I love that. This one's kind of been my offset of it, so I always enjoy doing this. Meet people, Logan with it. Josh, Tyler's been jumping on baseball. Susie and Logan involved. Our guy Marlins guy in tonight as well, jumping in. We appreciate him coming in with all the takes. Our loud Marlins fan as well. So, gentlemen, baseball, summer in the air. Tyler's got All-Stars Little League Baseball coming up here. This is the prime time of the year baseball style. Edwards will be again next Thursday, right?
It's our time, baby. It's our time.
It's our time. All right. So for Logan Stone, for Tyler Berger, Josh Edwards, I'm Darren Bright. We'll see you next week. Bourbon and Baseball on tap. See you then. Peace.
Peace.
What